What is going on, guys? Hello, Steph here, back with another recap video. How in the hell is the end of February already? Like, so I feel like the year just started and just, I feel like, it's just gonna flow on by, unfortunately. But we're back with another recap video. I am trying to keep this year to flow. Basically, at the end of the month, I'm gonna talk about all the movies, all the TV shows, and all the games I've watched and played throughout the month, and basically give you guys my quick thoughts on all of them. That way you guys know like what I'm playing and what I'm watching and my thoughts on all of this. Like some might be like quick stop reviews, but I hope you'll enjoy this series. I definitely I don't know why I have done this one before, honestly, but better than never, as they always say. So, like I said, I'm gonna talk about all the movies I've seen throughout the month, talk about all the shows I've seen along the ones I'm currently watching, and all the games I'm playing, along the ones I've beaten and the ones I'm currently playing. So, I hope you'll enjoy and let me know your thoughts on all I mentioned down below in the comment section. So, and also at the end of the video, I'll talk about what videos you can expect in the next month in general. So, let's get to it, shall we? Okay, now let's get started talking about all the movies I've seen. I think last month I saw 10 movies, and I saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13 movies in the month of February. Yes, I do watch a lot of movies, so it's just gonna be give my little quick thoughts on all the movies I mentioned. So might be a little fast, but maybe we might get something that I might recommend actually. And the first movie I'm talking about is actually a movie that came out at the end of January, and that is Dogman, which is of course the latest film from DreamWorks Animation, and probably this is actually kind of a spin-off of the Cat Underpants movie that came out in 2017, which I think is actually one of the more underappreciated movies, and honestly one of the more funny ones actually. So I was curious because we're gonna do a Dogman next year, and I used to love Cat Underpants, but I don't think I've heard anything about Dogman honestly. And I actually enjoyed the show a bit more. I'm sorry, I enjoyed the movie more than I expected. Now, I think it definitely is a bit too frenetic for a lot of people, and I can see why some people might not enjoy it as much as I did. It's a movie that does go pretty fast and very frenetic, and it's hard to keep up at times, but I love the humor, I enjoy the characters, I love the animation, so it's not one of the best, but hey, it's still a good one, so I'll take what I get. And then we have Companion, which Companion is the definition of a film that I think it's best to not really say much anything about, just going blind, and I end up loving it. That's all I'm gonna say. Then we have Your Culturally Invited, which is the month's most forgettable movie out here, which yeah, despite the cast with Will Ferrell, Reese Witherspoon, I just didn't really enjoy this movie. Honestly, it has some of the most detestable characters of the year. Actually, like, but aside from that, the movie is just not funny and kind of forgettable. So I don't really have much to say about the movie in general. Like, it does have its moments, but not one I'm going to remember. And honestly, I would say the same thing with Kind of Pregnant. Now, I'm someone that actually is not really a big Amy Schumer fan, honestly. Like, aside from Trainwreck, I don't think I've really seen much of her in anything that I really loved or enjoyed. If I'm being honest, not a great thing about it. But and sometimes, and I think after Trainwreck, I think a lot of movies have been up that great. Like, I remember Snatch for 2017 be on my worst films of that year. And there's I Feel Pretty, which I don't think did make that list, honestly, but I think it probably would now, honestly. I don't remember all the movies she's been in, but most of the stuff I've seen her since after Trainwreck, I really enjoyed. And there's no exception, while it's not her worst, honestly. I know some people think it's like a terrible movie, but I had some laughs here and there, and it kind of has its kind of charm here and there, but yeah, it's a movie that, again, I'm not going to remember much. I'm just not really going to think about. And pretty much the same thing I would say with Love Hurts, which is a film starring Keaton Kwan, which had potential with a story, but overall it's not a kind of forgettable action movie. Not the worst out there, but not a good one either. And then we have Heart Eyes, which is a horror slasher that I enjoyed a lot more than I actually expected. It's one of those films I really didn't know what to expect going into it. And yeah, I ended up really enjoying it. It's such that's not gonna like revolutionize anything or anything. It's not gonna blow you away. But it's just one a good slasher film with solid characters, solid kills, and a really interesting premise. I would give this a watch. Even I was surprised. And then we have The Gorge, which is directed by Scott Derrickson, actually. Yeah, the guy who did Sinister and The Doctor Strange, and also The Black Phone that came out a few years ago. And I think I don't know if he's doing a sequel that coming out later this year. Could have been wrong on that, but I think it's another really good movie that I recommend not going into knowing much about it, and you might be surprised. And it's one of those movies I can see myself really growing on me. So yeah, Gorge, pretty good movie. And I also saw The Data, which was the first movie to come out this year, and again, just another painfully forgettable movie, so don't really have much to say about the movie in general. And then we have Captain America: Brave New World. Captain America: Brave New World, which is the pure definition of a mixed positive bad, because there is some enjoyment to be had in this movie, honestly. Like, it does have all action, and to Megan Bruce can't be a great lead character. And even Red Hulk was great, and Harrison Ford's also great here. But as someone who enjoyed a lot of the MCU stuff, even some of the later ones, even I can defend this. For starters, it basically feels like more of a Incredible Hulk sequel than a Captain America movie. Like, you know it's bad when your main character is silent in his own movie. And the story is just painfully thin and not engaging. Like, it's basically, like, Peel's Grand basically tries to be Winter Soldier, but it's a less complex and compelling version of that movie. Not mention it has, like, a lot of subplots that are going nowhere, a lot of storylines that are just not interesting if you really think about it. And it has probably one of the most pointless and underwhelming post-credit scenes ever. And it's a movie that just isn't as fun as this premise exciting and doesn't really deliver what it wants to deliver. And from the reshoots, you can honestly really tell now, eventually. So yeah, not a bad movie by any means. I don't think it's as terrible as some make it out to be. But yeah, it's definitely the weakest Captain America movie by a landslide. Considering the premise, of course, having Anthony Mackie be on the main character, I really expected more out of this. I think we all did, honestly, at this point. But you know, that's the Fortune MCU for you. Let's hope Thunderbolts ends this phase on a good note. And then we have probably the most surprising movie I saw this year, and that is Bridget Jones' Mad About the Boy. Yeah, did you know there's another Yeah, did you know that there was another Bridget Jones movie that came out this year? Yeah, apparently a lot of people didn't. But yeah, the best I'm feeling is I did actually watch the other Bridget Jones movies after watching this. And the first one I think is actually one of my favorite rom-coms of all time. The second one is fine, the decent at best. And I'm Not a Baby actually being surprisingly good, and it still is surprisingly good. And Mad About a Boy might be the best sequel to Bridget Jones movies. While it doesn't come close to the original, it still keeps up with that same wit and charm and hilarity and Wednesday's performance that I really loved about that original. It's like, again, it's a rom-com that's not going to revolutionize the genre or anything, but it does what it delivers extremely well, and it has some nice heartfelt moments sprinkled in there. So yeah, if you like the other movies, I recommend it. And now we have The Monkey, which is a movie that obviously kind of gets a bit worse as it goes along, but it's a movie that it's a very fun horror comedy that delivers on that comedy aspect. It's a movie that really doesn't take itself too seriously at times. Like, it kind of can a little bit until near the end, which, yeah, why I kind of got a bit worse. But again, it's one of those movies that I feel if I rewatch it, I'll probably appreciate it more. But it's a movie I still had a good time with. It's a movie I still think I do recommend. And now we get to two movies. One I think is the best movie I saw this year, and the one I think is the worst movie I saw this year. And the first one I'm talking about is Paddington in Peru. Now, as a I think I still need to rewatch the other Paddington movies because I only have seen them once actually. But I really liked them honestly. Like, they're very like charming, lovable movies that you just can't help but enjoy. And I would say the same thing about Paddington in Peru. Which is again definitely a little more adventurous than the other two movies, but it still keeps that same lovely charm as the previous movies. Again, I still need to rewatch the other movies to know if this is my favorite or not, but hey, it's a movie that just put a big with my face, had a great time with it, and it's a film that just warmed my heart. So yeah, as it feels right now, it's by far my favorite movie I saw this year, and I think it probably will be on my best films of the year. And now we get the movie that's probably 100% likely going to be the worst movie I saw in 2025, and that is The Unbreakable Boy. You know, that movie where basically, another movie where basically tries to tell a deep story about autism, but does it in the most offensive and worst possible way. but not really focusing on the character and focusing on the father, who, and apparently this is based off a book that's written about that father, who apparently uses his son's autism to exploitation or something. Like, not just what I've been hearing, honestly. And probably Zach Levi's, and it's also Zach Levi, who apparently has gotten marijuana. So apparently he also is one of the people that think that vaccines cause autism. Like, no, I'm not getting all that about honestly, but even while taking autism out of the spectrum, like out of this movie, the movie still probably would be the worst, honestly, because it's a boring, uninteresting movie with probably the most unlikable characters, especially like Leo's character I have seen in quite some time. But it's really the autism aspect that really is the icing on the cake here. As based on long story short, they basically try and explain that the kid having autism is like a bad thing. Yes, I am dead serious. As the shows the father basically just trying a hard time bonding with his son because of autism, and the movie trying to make you feel like the autism aspect is like a terrible thing. Like, oh no, his autism is bad because his son, his father can't bond with his son because of it. It's like, you really aren't gonna make autism people feel terrible themselves, right? Especially there's one scene in the movie that I'm like, they're trying to make the autism kid feel like the bad guy here, but the father actually is the bad guy, and he's like a terrible person. They feel like there's not much of anything in the movie, especially the movie saying he does. Yeah, you can tell this was frustrating. Like, it probably would have been the worst movie of the year regardless of the autism aspect, but that aspect just really sinks this movie. That I hope the movie this year doesn't end up being worse than this, because, yeah. Honestly, it's not as, like, perfectly offensive as music, honestly, like, which you guys don't know is my least favorite movie of all time. But it does come close. So, yeah. Paddington Peru, best movie so far. The Unbreakable Boy, the absolute worst. And now let's talk about the television shows. In terms of show, I finished watching 7 total shows that came out this year. Either shows that I ended up finishing, or shows that I just ended up finishing watching. Wait, is it 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 7 shows. But of course, I'm talking about the shows that I'm currently watching, or shows that I've started, or shows that are currently airing that I'm not finishing. Like shows like, Star 48, Australia's Fire Base with 1 2, Season 3 of The Traders, which, again, I'm going to give my thoughts all those seasons on my reality show channel. You guys want to check that out. And of course, season 27 of The Voice, which has Alan Levine returning and Kelsey Ballerini making her appearance, and Michael Bublé and John Legend returning. So yeah. And there's also Happy's Place, which is the latest reboot of Mike Tyler's sitcom. Wizards Beyond Waverly Place, which I do actually going to have a review on that season when the fish is airing. I believe season 1 is coming close actually. Season 3 of Invincible, Georgie and Minnie's First Marriage, and Servant Season 2, which, yeah. There's other shows, I started watching a couple episodes of Shrinking, which I'm actually very excited to see that show, honestly. I started watching Legends in Dungeon and Da 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 Dan, because I do want to try to get to watching more animes this year, so I expect more anime watches coming next coming months. And in the last show here, I'm talking about is Supernatural Season 4 and 5, which, again, I finally watched all the first 5 seasons of Supernatural, which what people consider to be the best Supernatural, and I can totally see that. Yeah, the first 5 seasons are some of the best television ever. With Season 5 especially being one of my new favorite seasons of television, with having some of the most impactful moments in any show I have ever seen. And somehow this show ended up continuing for 10 more seasons, so I'm kind of nervous how probably kind of doesn't want to watch the rest of Supernatural because, well, what I've been hearing, it's never good, so I'm gonna take my time with it, so we'll see how it goes. And now let's talk about the other shows, and the first show I'm talking about is Season 23 of Hell's Kitchen. But again, I love Hell's Kitchen, hell I did like a season ranking on this channel, well, the channel I also did one of my reality shows channel, which it's been some of my most viewed on that channel, and Season 23 was good, honestly. Like, I don't have much to say about the season, being honest. Like, it's definitely a season that doesn't have the most exciting cast in the world, but it does have some great characters, some really exciting moments. I don't think from all it's been solid 5, but I think it really kicks in until like the final 10. And it probably has one of my new favorite winners on the show, honestly. Like, probably be one of the best characters, not the best character that will win Hell's Kitchen. And having some really good storylines in general. honestly, some of the cast members just don't like stick out all that much. But see, that's is pretty good. Like Hell's Kitchen, in my opinion, is probably the most consistent reality show I've seen, at least to me, at least. But and 42 is not a good one. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm sorry. And then next we got to get to another anime season. That is season 4 of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Yeah, it's better that I watch like I don't know if I ever mentioned on the channel, but I'm a diehard Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan. I love the card game to death. And eventually, obviously, I do plan on making a nostalgia retro video on Yu-Gi-Oh! At some point. Not sure when, but definitely at some point. I watched the original growing up, and I watched some of the other animes every now and then. And yeah, eventually I do plan on watching the other animes. And I've seen the first 3 seasons of GX, but I think season 2 being probably the best season. But season 4 is probably a close second, which again, surprisingly I never watched before, despite knowing what happens in that season. And I think it's actually a pretty good season. I'm not going to get any like details or spoilers on this season if you haven't seen GX. But it has definitely a different tone than GX, but the GX, like, I'm not going to too much about it because, again, it's going to spoil territory, it's going to, and especially what happens early in the season, so I don't want to spoil that too much, but it definitely turned out refreshing, has some really great duels. The villain's not the greatest in the world, but the villain was fine, and it has probably a really good finale, so, yeah. I may have a couple stories that I just did not really agree with, some that kind of less impact on a couple other moments that happened in GX, but as a whole, I thought it was a good season. Don't much other than that. And then we have The Middle, which is the latest sitcom of the year that I started to watch for the first time. Again, it was kind of random. I started to watch The Middle for the first time. But I just saw clips on Facebook and I figured, why the hell not? And honestly, I am so glad that I did, because it's one of my new favorite sitcoms. Like, it's one of the funniest shows I have ever seen. Of course, not afraid to have the heart and the charm that will make a sitcom so great, while not having the most original story. It's always the characters that make them. With obviously Brick and Sue probably be my favorites. Sue especially being one of my new favorite sitcom characters. And also, did you know that the actress that plays Sue actually voiced Star Butterfly in Star vs. Evil? Yeah, I didn't know. You try to look her up. But yeah, here's a great as well. It also stars Patricia Heaton, who was known for being Deborah and Annabelle Loves Raymond. She's kind of more of a leading character, and honestly, she is such an underrated actress. Seriously, she delivers comedic timing so incredibly well. Even that was great, and even Axel, by him not being my greatest character at first, he does grow on me as the show goes on. And the show has a nice group of supporting characters as well, has characters getting to it's kind of what you expect from a sitcom, but the characters do make it lively. So yeah, I do recommend it. It's also by having 9 seasons. It's one of the sitcoms that I don't think really has like a true dud episode or a true bad moment, which is kind of rare for a sitcom, by the way, guys. That's very rare. And you have another sitcom I started to watch the first time randomly. That is Alexa and Katie. That's Alexa and Katie. I did watch all 3 seasons of the show. It's a show that's basically has one of the characters played by Paris Blanket, who I believe, if I remember correctly, is the first role I've seen outside of Disney. And basically dealing with cancer. And while her friend Katie, played by Isabel Bay, basically trying to help her through all the troubles that deal with cancer. And one of the shows, despite the fact that it's a show that's very sweet and poppy in nature, it is afraid to tell the cancer storyline in a very serious way, in a very emotional way. I also hope that the 2 leads have incredible chemistry. Like, probably one of the most wholesome friendships I have seen in this show in quite some time. Yeah, I wasn't sure I'd seen the actress to play Katie anywhere, but it turns out she actually been in stuff. Like, fortunately, the only thing I've seen aside from the show is Run, Hide, Fight, which was a movie that came out in 2020 when COVID was a thing, and trying to make a school shooting into a die-hard action movie. Well, it was not good. But she does much better here, honestly. Katie is probably also Katie herself is probably one of the most relatable characters I've seen in quite a while, honestly. And while the show goes through a lot of the cliches that you expect this type of show to do, especially when it comes to dating and all that stuff, and trouble tribulations, it's a show that honestly kind of grew on me the more show went on. especially with the characters. I wasn't sure how I feel about the characters at first, most of the mom character, but the more the show went on, it definitely grew on me. So yeah, I actually recommend Life Kid, honestly. It's actually been an old Netflix show like, in 2018, 2020, and I enjoyed it a lot more than I actually expected. So yeah, it gets a thumbs up. And we have shows that I'm just going to fly through. We have Dexter Original Sin, which is a surprisingly solid prequel show I enjoyed a lot more than I expected. It does kind of feel pointless by the end of the day, and it doesn't reach like the true highs of the Dexter show, but it doesn't reach any like the major lows either. It's like kind of one of those middle ground kind of shows that doesn't do any high, but doesn't do any low either. Kind of in the middle. Like it does have its moments, and the actors do a really good job with the roles. But again, the pointlessness, the fact it doesn't do anything like mind blowing to the Dexter lore, does kind of break down a little bit. And then we have Cobra Kai Season 6, which, again, eventually I do plan on doing a ranking, in an episode ranking series of all Cobra Kai seasons, so stay tuned for that. And then Season 6 is probably the weakest season in like that. Most at least in the first two halves, at least. Like, I think having to be like 3 parts was kind of a mistake, honestly. I don't know why shows are doing that nowadays. Because it kind of like messes with the momentum of the shows, and honestly, that's kind of what happened, actually. I mean, Pop Wives 2 do have their moments, they do have their really fun ones, but you can tell it's a show that was kind of just spinning his wheels and trying to get to a really exciting finale, but just had a hard time getting there. And thankfully though, the last 3 episodes end up being incredible episodes, and they do end the show in a very satisfying way. And the last show I want to talk about is Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which is probably the most surprising show I've seen this year so far, because I was not expecting to enjoy this show as much as I did. Like, it's definitely one of the best Spider-Man shows to come out in a while, because I have seen some episodes of Ultimate Spider-Man and the Spider-Man show, and I'm sorry, I'm not really into those shows, honestly. Like, maybe I'll finish watching those shows at some point, but from what I've seen, yeah, no. No, but this is definitely one of the better ones to come out, actually, and despite the fact I wasn't sure how to feel about the show, because it was originally going to be like a prequel show to Tom Holland's Spider-Man movies, but it ended up being its own thing. But in the end, it ended up being its own thing, honestly, because it's like a multiverse. Like, it's kind of confusing, honestly, but the show I still enjoyed a lot when I expected. While the animation took a bit getting used to, I ended up loving it. I really loved how to spin it down Spider-Man here and spin on certain characters that I actually really enjoyed. I thought it was very humorous, how the action was great, and just captured the essence of Spider-Man. So that's basically all I want Spider-Man to show, to capture the essence of Spider-Man. Like, it's not the most revolutionary Spider-Man story we have gotten. There were some aspects that did surprise me in this show, so I don't know if it's like one of the best things to come out of Spider-Man or even the MCU, but it's definitely one of the better TV shows. Like, I would probably put this above like Loki and Hawkeye as the better MCU TV shows to come out. So yeah, I would actually recommend it. Also, very excited for Daredevil Born Again coming out this month. And now we're going to talk about the video games. Video games I played in February. I found out, in 2020, in January I played only 3 games. That was Super Mario RPG, Final Fantasy X-2, and Prototype. I played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games that came out this year. Also, before I continue, I do want to also let you guys know that I have officially returned to Twitch. Yes. I am back to streaming on Twitch, and yes, I know I've been uploading some gameplay content on the channel. Like, I upload a lot of videos from my Legend Can Play 2. I'm going to try to beat that game on stream. It's my mission to finally beat that game on stream. I didn't need to, but it's just not happened for some reason. But I'm going to make it my mission to do that. I'm going to make it my mission to do that for you guys. But I mean, just focus on that, and also focusing on Yakuza Kiwami, which I've been wanting to get into more Yakuza games, as I did play Yakuza 0 a couple years ago, and I ended up loving that game. But I ended up focusing on other games, or just other stuff kind of way, so. But I figured 2025 would be the perfect year for me to finally get into the Yakuza franchise. So I don't know if I'm going to stream the entire series, because, well, I don't want to burn myself out on that, but I do plan on streaming at least the first 2 games. At least the first 2. I'm playing the first one so far. I think I'm filming. I think I'm into. I think I'm like almost halfway the game as I'm filming this. So you can follow me on Twitter. Again, my schedule is always going to vary depending on how I'm feeling. I'm still trying to figure out like which days work better for, what times work better for me. Honestly, like, I'm still kind of figuring that out. Honestly, and that's something I've always been figuring out since I started streaming on Twitch. And I wasn't planning to again. After I did my Life is Strange Double Exposure stream, but you know, cold weather came and I ended up getting sick. So yeah. So I ended up being sick for a bit, so I'm not interested in hiatus, and then those other episodes came about, so yeah. But I will move to a position, and now update on my computer tab page and on my Instagram when I start up streaming. I do try to do at least like 2 or 3 times a week. As of right now, I do currently playing Street Fighter, so call me till I beat it, and I'm going to focus on Legend of Q and the sequel. Not sure what I'm going to do after that, honestly. Like, maybe I'll just focus on Legend of Q until I beat it, so we'll see how it goes, honestly. And I'm still trying to figure out which games are better for me to stream or not, so I might be a little bit up and down on what I stream, so just give it a heads up. Heads up. And in terms of games I'm currently playing right now that I'm trying to do, yeah, I have Final Fantasy 13 2, Assassin's Creed Revelations, Okami, again, the Quantum I mentioned, Pac-Man World Recap, Bugsnax, Canada Bridge Spirits, and I recently finally started Super Mario Odyssey, so yeah. As usual, I play a few more Mario games. I do plan on doing a Mario ranking, so stay tuned for that. And now I'm talking about the 9 games I did end up being able to play enough to where I'm able to put on this list. The first one I'm talking about is Final Fantasy 13. Yes, I'm finally to it. Like as I mentioned, I played Final Fantasy 13 which I think I'm almost done with actually, so that'll probably be on next month's. Yeah, so I'm playing through more Final Fantasy games this year, and I think after I finish Rebirth, when I do eventually get around to it, I do plan on doing a Final Fantasy ranking video, so stay tuned with that. But yeah, I decided, hey, why not play through the Final Fantasy 13 games, which are games that are probably the most divisive, and I think they were just disappointing for a while, but now they're more like divisive than anything, and I will say about Final Fantasy 13, I kind of enjoyed it more than I expected. I don't think it's like one of the best Final Fantasy games, unfortunately, most because it does have some issues with story and characters, and maybe just something I'm not really fond of, and the story was some very off directions at times, and some characters like, and a couple characters I'm supposed to like, they're like kind of terrible people, and he hopes it's a very linear game, honestly, which kind of unfortunate, but I think at that, I think I definitely enjoyed it more when it wasn't linear anymore, and when there's more to do. And the characters, and some of the characters, they grow on me, and I really like the combat, actually. I really liked it, I really enjoyed it. It had some decent boss battles, and some nice gameplay and story moments, despite the issues I mentioned had. So yeah, it's a solid Final Fantasy game. Not one that's gonna blow you away or anything, but it's a good one. And also this month, I also ended up playing a lot more indie games than I expected, honestly. I ended up playing, like, games that are kind of more, like, simple type of games, but story-driven games, but I'm kind of glad I did. As I finally played Firewatch, which this game has always been on my watch list, and I think it's a really fantastic game. That's a very short one, but a very simple story that really delivers on what it's trying to go for. Same with Oxenfree, which while it doesn't hit the emotions of that last game I mentioned, it's still a pretty great game that I've always wanted to play, and I'm glad I did. And same with Gone Home, which is a really short game, but one I can honestly see myself coming back to, actually. And then now we have To the Moon, which is, as of right now, the last game I played, which, as of right now, is my favorite game I played so far this year, which, again, people, like I always heard To the Moon being one of the most emotional games I have ever been put. Sorry, I always hear To the Moon being one of the most emotional games ever, and they weren't kidding, because I literally cried my eyes out in this game. I don't think I can say why, but if you have this game, like, what the hell are you doing? And then we have Kaze and the Wild Mask, which is a platform type of game that is on Switch, and it's actually that I remember hearing a couple of YouTubers talk about. I think it's actually pretty great. Actually, it has a very unique system to it, with terms of platforming and combat. Has some really unique boss battles. Like, it's one of the most unique games you ever play on the Switch. So, if you're on Switch, I remember getting Kaze and the Wild Mask. And then, speaking And I'm also playing another Mario game that is Super Mario Sunshine. Yes, after all these years, I finally played and beat this game. I've always wanted to play Sunshine for the longest time, and I finally did. And it's a really good game, but it's easily the most frustrating Mario game I have ever played. And I played some frustrating Mario levels for sure, but this one takes the cake by a landslide. Like, some moments are almost rage-inducing. But I got through it. I still enjoyed the story enough, and I still enjoyed it. Had a good charm to it, where I would say I still enjoy it. Wouldn't come back to it, honestly, but hey, I'm happy I finally played it. Happy I finally played it. And then we have Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. I do want to play at least a few more of the Assassin's Creed games. I want to give at least this, Revelations, and Assassin's Creed 3 this year. We'll see how that goes. And Brotherhood, honestly, it's definitely the better order just to be my favorite. Right now, I've only played the original 2. The first one I really didn't enjoy, and I actually did really enjoy 2, honestly. And I really loved Origins, and I definitely really loved Origins. I think I did some streams on that game, actually, but I fortunately didn't end up beating it. Because, again, I ended up taking a hiatus, so I just like, screw it, let's just beat off stream. Me and my stream from Odyssey or Valhalla, we'll see how that goes. I thought it was a great game, honestly. That has some of my favorite people like story and missions in the entire franchise so far. It has a really compelling narrative, and it some nice surprises in general as well. So yeah, it's definitely better order as my favorite. And the last game I want to talk about is Mario Kart 8. Yeah, another Mario game. Last couple months I've actually been playing a lot of Mario Kart 8 actually, whether it be just by myself or playing on people's streams. And hell, I even played it once with one of my streamer friends offline. I played it some matches a few times with a couple of my streamer friends, and yeah, it's probably I'm not really the biggest racing guy, honestly. Like racing, because racing and stuff are probably two of my least favorite genres or parts in games. Again, most because it's just not really my thing, and that's okay. But it's one of the things that the more I play it, the more I really enjoy it. And honestly, I can still see myself playing through more of this game throughout the year. So yeah, I'm gonna get hooked for a while. I never played much of it till recently, and I'm happy I'm finally playing it and enjoying it. Okay, well, and before we begin, I just want to give thoughts on videos that I do plan on coming on. Watch it. Just don't know, I've been back to upload a lot more karaoke compilation videos, and yeah, I have a lot more of those coming out this month. Next month, honestly, I think I have a few of them coming out. A lot of them coming out in a row, actually. Which, yes, a lot of them coming out in a row. One will be just random ones. One will be on Earth, Moon 5, Rihanna. Some ones on Ed Sheeran. I was to upload a couple on Bruno Mars. And of course, I have a lot more nostalgia road trip videos down the works as well. I plan on uploading for the month as well, so you can stay tuned for that. Ones I'm very excited to talk about, and I'm gonna end on my second revision, the continuation of my total drama episode ranking series. Well, of course, I'm going through every total drama season and rank them. I've actually finished filming all my episode rankings, and I'm going to upload them in the next couple months. Basically, March 2nd, I'll have my. Again, I did do a community. Sorry. I actually did do a community tab post, honestly, where I talk about when these videos will come out, and also when my nostalgia road trip videos will come out, along with my karaoke compilations. But yeah, March 2nd, I'm going to have my total drama episode ranking, and then March 11th, I'm going to have my. And then starting March 11th, and then starting on Tuesday, I'm going to have an episode ranking until they finish. Of course, I'm going to have my World Tour ranking, then my Reggie Island, All Stars, Parktail Island, Ridiculous Race, and then also the 2 reboot seasons, which will eventually lead to an episode ranking overall, making all episodes total drama. And then eventually I'm going to have a video putting all parts together, and I might do a little bonus video about my top 10 best and worst total drama characters. So stay tuned, I'm going to video very soon. And that's going to cover February recap. Hope you guys enjoyed these ranking videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am World from Cinema Productions. I will see you guys next time as always. Stay cool about it. Peace.